I'm at the oldest gliding club in England and counts the most pioneering woman in British aviation history as one of its past members. Find out who this flying ace was and where I am in just a few months. Today we're hoping to inspire a couple in their search for a home in the country, and the creative juices are certainly flowing.
I could come up with some stunning recipes in here.
But have we got the right ingredients?
Very compact.
Yes.
Very compact.
Today I'm in North Yorkshire, the Yorkshire Gliding Club at Sutton Bank. Now, founded in 1934, young engineer Amy Johnson joined a few years after. Now, at the age of just 26 years old, she became the first female pilot to fly solo from Great Britain all the way to Australia. And her record-breaking achievements made her a celebrity in her day. Now, looking around, as you can see, the gliding club today is still very much thriving. But I've got to say, the view of the North York moors which surround this gliding club from way up high in one of these must be truly staggering. The average price of a detached house here in North Yorkshire is around £260,000, not far off the national figure. But you will pay a 10% premium to live in places like Helmsley and Pickering due to their proximity to the North York Moors, which is a national park. But perhaps surprisingly, a sea view is actually a cheaper option and popular with retirees, especially the coastal towns of Scarborough and Whitby. So what's attracting today's buyers to this area? Well, let's meet them and find out. Our couple, Alistair and Angela, are just a short hop away in West Yorkshire. For the last 11 years, the spa town of Ilkley has been their home.
We originally came to Ilkley because it was a very, very nice town to live in, but it's getting more and more populated, more buildings are going up, and it's becoming a much busier town.
Alistair works in financial services and Angela is an internet retailer, but they feel the time is right to wind down professionally to fulfil their country dream.
We've worked hard most of our lives, and now's the time to move.
We're at the age now where, with our son going off to university, we have an opportunity to do what we've always wanted to do, live in the country, start a business, almost semi-retire, but still have something to keep us occupied.
Angela is looking to the outside for a possible business venture.
Angela's idea of tents and caravans, mobile homes, that kind of thing, is something that we have talked about and what we would like to do.
There are going to be peak periods where you're going to get lots of campers coming, bank holidays, the summer holidays.
They feel they've found the right landscape for the next chapter in their lives.
I've been to North Yorkshire on a couple of occasions and I liked the countryside, the feel of it, nice towns, away from the hustle-bustle of city life.
As far as the house goes, there are some specific requirements.
The property, ideally, would be an older type property rather than something very modern. One thing we must have is some form of extra living accommodation for my parents who may come and live with us.
We want the property to be ideally with some development potential.
And away from the property, they would love to get outdoors to indulge their interests.
I like to socialise and, you know, I have a golfing background. Depending how much ground there was, you know, you could develop a little pitch and putt course.
One of the things we would like to do is to have more time for ourselves, which would be golf, keeping chickens, and just enjoying the outdoors.
Their current house is on the market, and they have approximate figures in mind for their country escape.
The budget for the move is £600,000.
Alistair and Angela are after some unspoilt open space and favour a period property, so we'll be starting our search on the southern edge of the beautiful North York Moors. I'm meeting up with them close to their search area to find out more about what they're looking for. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to North Yorkshire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not a million miles away from where you live, is it?
No, it's about 50 miles, I guess.
Right.
I'm not from around here, Johnny.
I got that. I picked that up. You're from slightly further north. Now, this house you want to buy needs to have a business or something attached to it.
We'd like to have some form of income coming from it.
One of the ideas that we were thinking about, because we'd seen a property where they'd got land and converted it into a camping facility.
That's a lot of work. You know, you're not just sitting there just collecting a bit of rent from someone pitching up a tent. You've got the shop to run. It doesn't sound like a retired lifestyle.
No, no. It's probably not a total retirement that we want, is it? It's probably a change of lifestyle.
So what kind of home are you looking for?
We're going to be on our own, apart from my parents, who we would like to come and live with us, but ideally not in the same house. We would prefer some kind of totally self-contained annex or a separate cottage or something like that.
So we're looking for perhaps a fairly unique kind of property. That might not be in the market at the moment. Are you prepared to make that property suitable for your needs, do work to it?
Yes, we've talked about this, and we're open to the idea of getting outside contractors in to develop any potential building that we see that we like.
Last piece of the jigsaw. Budget.
Well, £600,000 is our budget. If you found us the perfect property that we could move into with no further money to spend, we could go up to £650,000.
It sounds like you're giving me quite a broad remit. So I think the best thing to do is show you 3 quite different properties. You ready to go?
Love to, yes.
Let's go.
OK.
For a maximum budget of £650,000, Alistair and Angela have a big wish list. They're looking for a period property with at least 2 to 3 bedrooms, an annex or separate living accommodation for Angela's parents, some business potential, possibly in the form of holiday lets, and a good-sized plot that could be used as a campsite. We found some lovely properties to show our buyers in North Yorkshire, but I won't be revealing the price until the end of each tour. The last will be a mystery house, which could be outside their comfort zone, but might just turn out to be a property winner. I often see people in your position looking for a very much a lifestyle business. I go back and see them 2 years later and they're working all the hours that God sends, 7 days a week.
But if you enjoy it, it's what life's about, isn't it?
Because here's the thing, you're now talking about running a business together.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 bosses.
Oh, no.
Oh, one boss.
One boss.
I'm not even going to ask you that, as I think I already know, don't I? To start the tour, our first destination is the attractive village of Marton. Situated 10 miles east of the historic centre of Helmsley and 5 miles west of the market town of Pickering, with its wide range of shops, tea rooms and pubs. Rich in heritage, Pickering is also known as the gateway to the moors for the thousands of walkers who flock to the area. A 10-minute drive away, our first property is an 18th century house set in mature gardens in the centre of Marton. Property number 1 is this one.
Right, OK. Not what I expected.
So what were you expecting then?
I thought probably a detached property.
Well, you are actually detached. That's just a linking wall, OK?
Yes.
That gable end, there's nothing touching there.
Right.
But you're looking at this house and that extension to the side.
Right,
so
OK.
all of this.
Right.
I'm thinking big house, you guys.
Yes.
Smaller part, maybe your parents, Angela.
Very good. Yes.
First impressions, Alistair?
Yeah, much the same as Angela. I thought it would be more
Open.
exposed, yeah.
You've got space at the back, but I'll show you later.
OK.
Let's go inside. This stone and brick house was originally built in 1784 with a later extension, formerly the village shop, added in the 1900s. OK, I just want to pause here briefly because I think this might end up being one of the living rooms if you split this house for you and your parents, OK?
Yes, yes.
So bear this in mind. Let's start off in the kitchen.
OK.
So mind your heads.
Right. Very nice. It's a lovely kitchen. It's quite a good size as well. I love the range cooker.
Yeah, you've always fancied a range cooker.
I have, yes.
There's nothing to do if you want to keep it as it is.
Yes.
So this is, I think, your area, your kitchen dining room. You've got a lovely sunroom or conservatory just at the back there, which doubles as another sitting room.
Yes.
At the moment, we've got a lovely reception from the far end of the building, which I think could be your parents.
OK.
Let's take a look.
Right.
Mind your heads.
OK.
Heads again.
OK.
Now look at this room.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
There's lots of natural light flooding in. It's a big room dimensionally, but unfortunately, I'm thinking you're going to have to give it up for your parents.
Yes.
I don't think you'll be bending their arms very far at their back to show them this room, will you?
No, I think they'd be really happy with this.
Separate staircase here going up to their own personal accommodation.
Right.
The only thing missing is a kitchen. So, what you have here is a small sunroom with a stud partition. So you can move it back a little bit, put a kitchenette in there, and you can get to it through its own self-contained entrance.
Not sure about them not having their own kitchen.
It involves a bit of lateral thinking.
It does, yes.
So whilst you've got your parents' bedroom accommodation up those stairs, let's go to the secret staircase, if you like.
Right.
And look at yours.
OK.
Mind your heads.
All right.
Perhaps not an overwhelming thumbs up for the downstairs. The first floor of the main part of the house consists of 3 ensuite bedrooms with fitted wardrobes and views to the front of the house. The modern bathrooms all feature wood panelling along with traditional sanitary ware. So, all the way up here on the second floor,
Yes.
where what's currently being used is the master suite.
Right. Very nice. I didn't realise there was another floor.
It's a nice room. That worries me, that low beam.
Yeah, that does me as well. Middle of the night.
You've got options, of course.
Yeah, sure. But no, nice surprise.
Let's go outside and have a look at some accommodation that might generate some income.
Oh, right. OK.
Great.
Mind your heads and your
Right.
step. Set away from the main house lies a stone-built detached cottage. It offers a kitchen diner with wood-burning stove, a living room with French windows, a ground floor bathroom and a first floor double bedroom.
Very nice.
Wow.
I like this.
Very nice.
Perfect.
Now, peak season, you know, the school holidays and maybe Christmas, you can get anything up between £6 to £6.50 a week for this peak season. Let's not forget you've got Pickering just round the corner.
Yeah.
Turnkey, it's done for you, isn't it?
Yeah, the decor's lovely.
Good.
I like it.
The mature rear garden is a real feature of the property, with well-established vegetable plots and an array of landscaped perennial borders. There's a lot of gardens here, almost split into rooms, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
And it goes
really nice.
right the way back there. Well, just over, I think it's about 1.1 acres.
It's a lot.
Yes,
It's a lot of ground.
It's a problem for me because although I'd like to have quite a bit of land, I think this part of the garden looks as though it's going to take an awful lot of upkeep.
Yeah. Someone would love to do this, but this isn't your bag, is it? Really?
No, it isn't. It's beautiful, but not us.
But how much do you think this house is on the market for?
It's got the extra property there to let out. And it's got these fabulous gardens. I would estimate round about 599.
OK.
I would put a value of 580,000 on this.
OK. This place on the market for offers around £630,000. It's a bit of a warning sign, if you like, a shot over your bows of just how much a decent-sized property with letting potential or some sort of income generator will cost you.
OK.
Have a good look around, see what you get for your money for that £630,000, and then we'll leave and go on to the next one.
OK.
All right?
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
Catch you later on.
OK.
£20,000 under Alistair and Angela's maximum budget, the first property is on the market for £630,000. It's an 18th century detached house and comes with a kitchen breakfast room, 4 bedrooms, a detached 2-storey cottage and extensive gardens amounting to around an acre.
My initial thoughts when I saw the property was that it was attached on one side. I thought it would be on its own with land on either side.
As far as the far room's concerned, that's a beautiful sitting room, and I don't think my parents would have a problem with that.
There was a surprise of the other ongoing business, which is a holiday let, a nice little earner, you know, for 6 months of the year.
Tell you what, if you bought this house, you could live off the garden for about 2 years, I think. There's so much here, isn't there?
I know, an awful lot of fruit and vegetable.
So, you've seen enough throughout the property?
Yeah.
Yes, thanks, sir.
OK, on to the next one. Let's go.
OK.
The historic centre of Helmsley sits on the southern borders of the North York Moors. On the outskirts of the town lies Duncombe Park Estate, where a beautiful walled garden is the backdrop for the active promotion of horticultural therapy. Alistair and Angela are seeking a large plot for their country move, so we sent them to meet garden manager Mike Ianson for some outdoor inspiration.
Welcome to Helmsley.
Thank you. It's absolutely beautiful here.
Yeah, it's coming along nicely.
Colours are fantastic.
Yeah.
I heard it used to be a derelict site.
It was. And in keeping with a lot of the Victorian gardens, it became derelict after the First World War. It had a little bit of a reprieve for the Dig for Victory campaign. And then in the 70s and 80s, it became a market garden. And in about the mid-80s, something like that, it went into total decline.
The gardens remained neglected until the mid-90s, when a local lady reopened the gates and inspired the community to restore the gardens to their former glory.
Mike, how long did it take you to bring the gardens back to life?
Well, it's taken 15 to 16 years.
Yeah.
Last year we decided we're going to put a clematis gardening. Today's community of gardeners that are here on site will decide what we want to do within the garden.
So you don't have a master designer who plans
No,
all the gardens
no,
for you,
no, there's no grand design, there's no great big plan.
Up to 50 volunteers helped create and maintain this plantsman's paradise. And the gardens play another important role within the community through horticultural therapy. Whether tending allotment plots or flower borders, the benefits are clear.
People will come to us from mental health teams, or the GPs refer them to us. Some guys self-refer to come to us.
It's that feeling of well-being, I suppose.
Absolutely,
yes.
You've got it in one.
Yes.
Absolutely, that well-being. We hope to send people away at the end of a day's work here, feeling they've contributed. We get an opportunity to talk to people and to see where they are in their lives.
A bit of gratification as well in sitting down to a meal that you've actually been involved in the growing of.
Produced, yes.
Alistair and Angela seem bowled over by these incredible gardens and would love to create their own piece of horticultural paradise. Does Mike have any tips for the novice gardener?
In cottage gardening, there is no rules, which is the best thing about it. Find some plants that you like and put them in. And the idea is it's just any colour, anyhow, plant it how you want to plant it. Clearly, if you've got some small plants, put them at the front and the bigger ones at the back. But after that, you can plant anywhere you want, how you want.
Is it really that simple? Because
simple.
we struggle, and to achieve something like this, looks to me as though there's an awful lot of hard work involved.
It's in the preparation. Clear the land first, put the plants in, and plant densely. Put a lot of plants in.
Well, thank you for showing us around the gardens. They look stunning. It's absolutely beautiful.
Now that they've been inspired by the impressive Helmsley walled gardens, let's see if we can up the stakes as we return to our house search. For our second property, we're travelling 5 miles north of Marton to the tranquil village of Hutton le Hole. Situated in the North York Moors, it's a popular tourist spot with beautiful scenery, a village green complete with resident sheep, and an array of local crafts and businesses, including a chocolate factory. Before I take the buyers to the house, we're meeting up with Kevin Sims from the Rydell Folk Museum to give us a local perspective. Now, you have an amazing museum here. Tell us a bit more about it.
Well, the museum's set in a site of about 6 acres. It covers rural life over the last 3,000 years or so. We start right back at the Iron Age and come right through to the 1950s.
What sort of figures do you get here tourist-wise coming through the doors?
We're anywhere between 35,000 40,000 a year, but actually through the village we estimate about 100,000 a year.
The reason I'm asking about tourist figures and visitor numbers and hospitality is because the house not only potentially deals with tourists, but also is located in this fantastic village.
Very good.
Good news?
Yep.
Good, yeah.
Definitely.
Kevin, thank you very much for your time. We'll see you again.
Good luck.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Bye-bye.
A short walk away lies our second property, offering some scope for a budding business. this cottage for you,
Right.
that building, this building starting from there all the way up, that building and the land beyond. So basically everything apart from what's behind me now.
OK.
And if we're to get this potential business, there's a compromise on maybe your standards of living accommodation, the space that you're used to.
Right.
What's your initial thoughts, Alistair?
Well, I mean, there's certainly plenty of ground.
The one thing that I don't really like is the fact that the building is bang on the road again.
Well, let's start with the living accommodation. Again, there might be a few concerns, but let's not preempt that. Let's
OK.
take a look.
Good.
Angela may not be bowled over by the location, but what will she make of the interior of the main cottage?
OK, so very small kitchen into the living room.
Very compact.
Yes.
Very compact.
Alistair's gone quiet.
Yeah.
Very quiet. That alarms me even more.
I like the natural stone and I like the beam ceilings, but it is small.
If we're centering this second property on business potential, if you like, you know, we're in the national park, then the compromises are your living space, as in quite a lot of hospitality, if you like. You get the short end of the straw, almost.
Yeah. What we've got to look at as well is whether there's an opportunity to expand.
There is some planning consent elsewhere to extend some of the holiday accommodation.
OK.
Well, upstairs, you've got a double bedroom and a small double and a bathroom, OK? Well, let's take a look at one of the letting cottages. That's it?
Much better, thank
OK.
you.
So the two-storey cottage hasn't impressed. Let's hope the holiday let shows more potential.
Right, so this is one of the letting cottages.
OK. As a letting cottage, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Nice little dining area, sitting area. No, fine.
Now, this works really well for them because it's got 2 double bedrooms and a bathroom.
Right.
Peak season, they'll get £600 a week. I mean, we didn't take a look at one of the bedrooms in the main building. Should we have a quick look at one here,
Sure.
just so you know what you're dealing
Yes,
with? OK.
please.
A decent double here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite nice room.
Good. All right, now, let's start getting our heads around what we maybe could do. Because personally, for me, if this next bit of accommodation doesn't work for you, this isn't going to work at all, is it?
No.
OK.
OK.
Follow me?
A glimmer of hope, then, in the first letting cottage. The second unit on the right features a separate living room with a stone fireplace, a compact kitchen, fitted bathroom and 2 good-sized bedrooms. The family room on the end of this letting unit could be combined with a new single-storey extension to provide a permanent living space for Alistair and Angela or her parents.
Tell me if I'm wrong, you like this letting accommodation?
Yes.
The letting accommodation, as it is brilliant.
And growth-wise, you've got stables in that barn. You could maybe even speak to the local authority about getting some camping done on the land further at the back.
OK.
Well, let's take a look at this land, then we'll guess the price.
OK.
Yeah? OK. So then, land. Obviously, you get this paddock, and it goes all the way up, almost as far as you can see.
Well, that is fabulous.
Yeah?
Absolutely fabulous. That's the kind of thing we were hoping for, yes? The holiday lets are what I was hoping for. It's just the house.
How much, though, do you think this property is on the market for?
They're very difficult. I would say 660,000.
OK.
I would say probably around £620,000.
It's actually on the market, all that you've seen, for around £580,000.
Right, OK, that's a good price.
But whilst we're here, you might as well have a good look around. I think, in particular, the letting accommodation. And it's the last thing we do today, so take as long as you like.
OK, thank you very
Right.
much.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks,
Thank
Johnny.
you.
At £580,000, the cottage complex is well under Alistair and Angela's budget. It comprises a 2-storey cottage, 2 holiday lets, one of which could potentially be extended, and grounds of around 2 acres, all in a very desirable village location.
As a business, this place is more like what we had envisaged. Then we came to the wide open spaces, that just blew us away.
As far as the holiday cottages are concerned, they're quite compact, but for a holiday let, they are perfect.
But to live there, myself, Angela, her son, and Angela's mum and dad, it's just not big enough.
Right then. Are we all experts on self-catering accommodation now in North Yorkshire?
I reckon so, yes.
Yes. We've
Right.
seen it all.
You've seen it all. Let's go back, come on.
OK, thank you.
It's the second day of our house hunt in North Yorkshire with Alistair and Angela from Ilkley in West Yorkshire, who have £650,000 to spend on their country relocation. Coming up, our mystery property takes their breath away.
It's really nice, and views to die for.
And I find out if I can form a bond with Mun's best friend.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Where?
Oh,
Sorry.
someone's got the authority there, haven't they? Well, if anything, I think yesterday showed just how difficult it's going to be trying to cram all that Alistair and Angela are after into just one property, especially on their budget. So it's with a certain amount of relief we're off to see the mystery house. As you know, it's often something a bit quirky, something to challenge the expectations of our buyers. Now, if you remember yesterday, they both told me they'd like to be in a village, but then didn't react very well to having neighbours around them, so we're going to remedy that straight away. On top of this, I'd like to show them something nearer to the coast, but also something with a bit of land. Angela seems to have an obsession with running a business with all the outside space you might get with a rural property. Now, if she wants land, well, we're going to give her spades of it. What they do with all that land, well, that's up to them, isn't it?
For the mystery house, we've shaken up the location and headed up through the moors to the coast. The property is just outside the village of Easington, around 12 miles from the historic harbour town of Whitby, and a pebble's throw away from the seaside village of Staithes. Once an important fishing community, Staithes also boasts Captain James Cook as a former resident when he worked as a greengrocer's assistant. Today, the stunning geology, artistic pedigree and charming harbour make it an ideal tourist destination. Back up the road, the mystery house may not offer them the living configuration they asked for, but let's hope the coastal location is to Angela and Alistair's liking.
Well, as you can see, right in the heart of the national park, the mystery house itself is this here. What we're looking at is everything you see from there all the way over to where the new orangey pantiles start. Okay?
Right.
So it's a semi-detached farmhouse.
It looks beautiful.
Does it?
Beautiful.
I like it.
Yeah?
I do.
First impressions, fabulous. Spot on.
That's all I want to hear. Let's go inside.
OK.
The location doesn't seem to be throwing up any concerns. This impressive stone farmhouse has been recently refurbished and certainly offers up a real feeling of space and stunning views.
Straight into the big old farmhouse kitchen.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful kitchen. Absolutely beautiful. I could come up with some stunning recipes in here.
Good. You look relieved, Angela.
I do. I just think, so far, what I've seen, it's fabulous. The old range there, the floor is fabulous, the size, I'm happy.
But we need to find you a home. Not that just impresses you or wows you when you first walk in. It's got to be suitable for you guys. So let me explain what we've got here. Obviously, this big dining kitchen, a bit similar to the first place we looked at. Another sunroom creeping around the back there.
OK.
All right. And then we go into the rest of the ground floor accommodation this way.
All right.
Let's take a peek.
OK.
OK, then. The main living room.
Again, it's really nice. A fabulous fire and views to die for.
Yeah, this is a nice little living room, TV room. Fantastic, yeah.
I'm not sure this house cuts in half for, you know, maybe the annex for your parents. We've got another reception room, albeit rather smaller one, next door.
OK.
OK, let's go and have a look at one of the bedrooms.
OK.
The 4 double bedrooms are all located upstairs and offer up fantastic countryside views. They're served by a shower room and a spacious family bathroom.
And, lo and behold, guess what? The master bedroom also gets views.
Decent size. Not huge, but you've got all your built-in wardrobes here, I suppose.
Now, you've got bedrooms up here,
Right.
which could allow you to maybe separate the upstairs, but hand on heart, I don't really think the downstairs separates that well. This conundrum, if you like, is all about just allocating rooms, if you want that separate living accommodation.
I think if the house is perfect and the location's perfect and everything's right, then if that's the compromise, that's the compromise.
Outside, in the business element, we haven't shown anything that really challenges you yet.
No.
Well, we're going to now. Follow me.
The lack of separate living accommodation in our mystery house doesn't seem to have fazed Angela due to the spacious interior. And we've got some really exciting potential just out the back.
All that you can see straight ahead is included. So you've got that garage block there. Straight ahead of you, those barns, they're included. And they also have planning consent. 1 3-bedroom, 2 2-bedrooms, and 1 1-bedroom self-catering cottages.
That's what we're after.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sounds too good to be true, this.
What do you think about the idea of building all that, or converting it and then running it?
No problem. That's what we want to do.
Good news, then.
Yeah?
Yeah, certainly.
It sounds just right for us.
Does it?
It does.
There's no point coming out to the countryside and not getting some land. And you've got that. Follow me.
Another plus for Alistair and Angela, and the outside space extends to around 5 acres.
So, proper pasture land.
It's great. Oh, and the donkeys.
And there's one more surprise in store as the paddock offers up a spectacular view.
What do you think?
It's incredible, isn't it? It just doesn't get any better.
And we're up a fair height looking down on the sea. It's fantastic.
Then, a yard, the side of this post there, is a Cleveland Way. You've got tourists, you've got walkers, pretty much going through your land if you want them. Where do you think they want to camp? Here. Where do they want to stay in a cottage? Here.
The potential of what you could do, incredible.
How much do you think this house, with all of its land and its planning permission, is on the market for?
I'd figure 680,000.
OK.
I'd say probably about 670,000.
Well, the good news is this place on the market for offers around £599,950.
Right. Obviously, it's going to need some cash to do the renovation work, but well within budget.
Go and have a look. Go and look around the barns, especially. So take your time and I'll meet you whenever you're ready.
OK, good
All right.
way to finish. Thank
I'll
you.
admire the view.
OK.
Well, it needed to, but I think the mystery house might have just done it. We'll now find out whether or not it's maybe a bridge too far, but it has all the basic ingredients they said thereafter. And look at that. Who wouldn't love to live with that?
Well under their maximum budget of £650,000, the mystery property is a stone-built farmhouse. It doesn't come with an annex, but does have 4 reception rooms, including the comfortable garden room and 4 good-sized bedrooms. There are extensive outbuildings with business potential, and who could forget the pasture land with stunning sea views.
Oh, Alistair, the wood there, beautiful.
Nothing spared here, is there,
No.
in terms of
Very nice.
design and cost? Yeah, very nice.
It's a house that isn't divided. There isn't a separate area for my parents. But I think because the house is so nice, I'm sure that it's spacious enough for us all to live together.
I am impressed by all the other bits that come with this property. And certainly there's scope to be for the business, definitely.
All done?
All done.
Did seeing those animals give you a taste of what it might be like living here?
We
Well,
did.
Love the
yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
We had some friends.
Good. Good. Well, you need them up here. Now, hopefully this particular option has given you plenty to think about. So why don't you go away and do just that, and I'll meet you later on.
All right, thank
Good
you.
luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Generations of farming have shaped the moors as we see them today. But the altitude and terrain of the uplands creates a particularly demanding environment, and there's a danger this way of life could gradually die out. So some local farmers have teamed up with the National Park to create a pioneering agricultural apprenticeship scheme. I've come to meet coordinator Nola Atkinson and local farmer Alan Jackson at Abbey Farm.
It's been a problem, I understand, over the past few years of getting enough people to work on the moors. How are you combating it?
It has. I mean, we've started up a scheme because we found out that we don't have that many people of the younger generation coming into upland hill farming.
Yeah.
It's lovely on a day like today, but when you're 3 foot deep in snow and cut off from everyone for a couple of weeks, it's not the most appealing job.
Now, Alan, you're a living, breathing upland farmer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Now, you understand you take on these guys, these
Yeah,
apprentices.
yeah. Really tough, really, for a young lad coming into it. It's more, not a lot of tractor driving.
A couple of the apprentices that we've got at the moment have started up by helping out on local farms when they're lambing and thought,
Yeah.
well, actually, no, this is something that maybe I could get interested in, maybe do a little bit more of, and that's how we're getting them to come on the apprenticeship scheme.
Budding young farmers are trained in environmental work such as dry stone walling and managing the flocks on the moor. The demanding terrain still calls for traditional methods.
It's still with dogs?
Yeah, dogs and these things, your feet.
Obviously, you can't
Yeah.
take machinery up there, you can't take the
We
quad
just-
bike.
No.
because
We
you
just all
destroy-
load up into back up, pick up and go to our boundary, bring all the sheep down off the moor.
And you'll teach these apprentices, what, how to use sheepdogs then?
Yeah, yeah, we try to do, yeah.
I understand you've got a couple of people on the
Yeah,
farm today that,
yeah.
that do just that, that teach the apprentices how to use
we've
the
got-
dogs.
We can get Bob and Jackie to come down and they breed sheepdogs, they train sheepdogs and they train people how to use sheepdogs.
A well-trained sheepdog works in close partnership with its handler, often forming a lifelong bond. Training normally starts when the pups are around 6 months to a year old, when they're eased into their work. I'm meeting up with Bob and Jackie for some apprenticeship tips.
Now, whilst you might start training them early, I suppose, I mean, they're bred for just this task, aren't they, Jackie?
Generations.
Generations.
Of dogs, yes.
Imagine I'm an apprentice. Could I possibly have a go? Well, what would be my first lesson?
To your right is a where command, and to your left is a by.
Right.
So the dog is looking at you, his where is his right. Wherever he looks at you, he's right-handed, the right foot.
So I've got to turn it around, right, OK.
Yeah.
That's clever.
It's difficult.
It's if you
I
know,
have to write it on my hands.
right. Away. No, not a bar.
Go on, go on, go on.
Again.
Away. Away.
Where?
Oh,
Sorry.
someone's got the authority there, haven't they?
Stop there.
Stop there. Not stopping.
The sheepdogs typically respond to about 5 different voice commands, along with eye contact, whistles, hand signals and body language.
So if I say, I want you to go to the left now, I would say bye,
Yeah,
even though that's my way.
Yeah, yeah.
Come by.
Just walk.
Just walk, walk. It's amazing, the accuracy of a few words stops him. I'm quite pleased with that.
That's it, stop there.
Now, Shep, you could have made an absolute fool out of me there, but you actually obeyed me on a few occasions. I was glad of your voice sometimes, Bob.
It is quite addictive.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine
You'll
so.
end up having to buy a field and get some sheep if you're not very careful.
Bob, Jackie and Shep, thank you all very much. Great to meet you all.
Thank you.
It's great to see traditional methods still being promoted, and I hope the apprenticeship scheme continues to attract more young farmers.
Well, it's pretty clear that Angela and Alistair have only one property to consider. So let's see if the Mystery House and the North York Moors have worked their magic. Now then, I think we know there's only one property in the running, don't we? The Mystery House. What is it now, on reflection, that makes it so attractive to you, Alistair?
We do like the building. The decor inside of the house and all the rooms were pretty much... We wouldn't need to do anything much there.
Apart from the developing the holiday units.
Oh, that's the main, but
Yes.
the good thing is it's below budget, so it'll give us a bit of spare cash to start on one,
Yes.
start the first one.
I mean, realistically, that's the £50,000 under budget that you're saving at the moment. That's, as you rightly say, that's to start that
Yes.
huge project.
Yes, yes.
So, Very positive response from you, Alistair. Angela, the same?
Very much so. I think the next step, as far as we're concerned, is to get my parents over there, because although we fell in love with the place, it's now a question of whether my mum and dad would be happy to live there.
Yeah.
The place is very much what we were looking for.
You've got the countryside on one side and then the open sea on the other. It's
best of both worlds.
Yeah, wasn't it?
What I kind of dream of.
Well, look, I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
But whatever you decide, do let us know what you do, won't you?
We will do. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your help.
Well, we're up against it, really, weren't we? But it looks like we pulled it out of the bag at the last minute with the mystery house. And I think that's partly due to the fact that we took a step away from their fairly strict shopping list and focused primarily on providing them with a home. And once we'd done that, once Angela had fallen in love with the idea of being in the countryside, living in that big farmhouse, everything else seemed to just fall into place. The idea of running a business, developing those cottages and all that land, well, it tickled both of their fancies, didn't it? And Angela's also confident that her parents will like it in equal measure. So hopefully the second viewing will go according to plan, and they'll both soon be escaping here to the beautiful North Yorkshire countryside very soon. See you next time.
Alistair and Angela are still very interested in our mystery property, but are waiting for an offer on their own house before taking matters further. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland or even further afield to the continent and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.
I'm at the oldest gliding club in England and counts the most pioneering woman in British aviation history as one of its past members. Find out who this flying ace was and where I am in just a few moments.
Today we're hoping to inspire a couple in their search for a home in the country, and the creative juices are certainly flowing.
I could come up with some stunning recipes in here.
But have we got the right ingredients?
Very compact.
Yes.
Very compact.
Today I'm in North Yorkshire, the Yorkshire Gliding Club at Sutton Bank. Now, founded in 1934, young engineer Amy Johnson joined a few years after. Now, at the age of just 26 years old, she became the first female pilot to fly solo from Great Britain all the way to Australia. And her record-breaking achievements made her a celebrity in her day. Now, looking around, as you can see, the gliding club today is still very much thriving. But I've got to say, the view of the North York moors which surround this gliding club from way up high in one of these must be truly staggering. The average price of a detached house here in North Yorkshire is around £260,000, not far off the national figure. But you will pay a 10% premium to live in places like Helmsley and Pickering due to their proximity to the North York Moors, which is a national park. But perhaps surprisingly, a sea view is actually a cheaper option and popular with retirees, especially the coastal towns of Scarborough and Whitby. So what's attracting today's buyers to this area? Well, let's meet them and find out.
Our couple, Alistair and Angela, are just a short hop away in West Yorkshire. For the last 11 years, the spa town of Ilkley has been their home.
We originally came to Ilkley because it was a very, very nice town to live in, but it's getting more and more populated, more buildings are going up, and it's becoming a much busier town.
Alistair works in financial services and Angela is an internet retailer, but they feel the time is right to wind down professionally to fulfil their country dream.
We've worked hard most of our lives, and now's the time to move.
We're at the age now where, with our son going off to university, we have an opportunity to do what we've always wanted to do, live in the country, start a business, almost semi-retire, but still have something to keep us occupied.
Angela is looking to the outside for a possible business venture.
Angela's idea of tents and caravans, mobile homes, that kind of thing, is something that we have talked about and what we would like to do.
There are going to be peak periods where you're going to get lots of campers coming, bank holidays, the summer holidays.
They feel they've found the right landscape for the next chapter in their lives.
I've been to North Yorkshire on a couple of occasions and I liked the countryside, the feel of it, nice towns, away from the hustle bustle of city life.
As far as the house goes, there are some specific requirements.
The property, ideally, would be an older type property rather than something very modern. One thing we must have is some form of extra living accommodation for my parents who may come and live with us.
We want the property to be ideally with some development potential.
And away from the property, they would love to get outdoors to indulge their interests.
I like to socialise and, you know, I have a golfing background. Depending how much ground there was, you know, you could develop a little pitch and putt course.
One of the things we would like to do is to have more time for ourselves, which would be golf, keeping chickens and just enjoying the outdoors.
Their current house is on the market and they have approximate figures in mind for their country escape.
The budget for the